Hi, Sean here from Hygeia Strength and Conditioning, and today I'm going to be talking about the hip bounce in the press. Since the inception of starting strength, the lift that has changed the most in terms of how it's taught is the press. It used to be a strict press with a touch and go at the bottom. Now we teach the press with the hip bounce, which is a horizontal movement, to create a little bounce to initiate the press. The hip bounce does two things. Firstly, it solves the issue of the lifter pressing the bar up and around the face because the head automatically moves back as part of the hip movement. Second, it fulfills all three criteria that we use to select exercises to be included into the starting strength program. While utilizing the hip bounce is very beneficial in the press, we find that a lot of lifters struggle with that movement regardless if they are learning from scratch or transitioning from a strict press to the press 2.0. The drawn bow is an analogy commonly used to aid lifters to visualize how the hip bounce should be. I've personally used this analogy many times with my clients, but found that they find it a bit tricky to understand how the horizontal movement can be translated into the vertical movement in the press. Some of the more common form issues we see our lifters do with the hip bounce are usually pulling the hip back and driving it forward, pressing the bar up slightly and letting it dip again for the rebound, or driving the hip forward and then leaving it up front. Over the years, I have used many analogies to better explain the hip bounce movement to my clients. Out of everything that I've used, I found that the playing card analogy seemed to work the best in conveying the movement to my clients. So today I'm going to share it with you and hope that it will help you too. So this right here is a playing card. Imagine that this is your head and this is your legs. This is going to be your front and this is going to be your rear. So before you drive your hips, you want to squeeze your abs and your quads so that this unit here is nice and tight. Next, you're going to drive your hips forward into that tightness like this. Okay, so you must remember that you want to drive your hips forward instead of leaning back. It's a different thing doing this and this, right? Because if we lean back, the bar is going to move backwards, and when it rebounds, it's going to be flung forwards. So we don't want that. So the bar is going to sit roughly about there in your hands, all right? So when you drive your hips forward, the bar is going to dip, right? So the bar is here, you drive it forward, the bar dips, and because it's tight here, it's going to rebound back, and that's going to start the press. And once it's in motion, you're going to follow through the press and press it to the lockout. Right? Okay, up and back. Okay, so I hope this analogy helps you to better understand the hip bounce. Thank you.